So this is Jenny, and since it's the end of the summer season here in Phoenix, we're going to see what's going on with Jenny's tires. Let's get on topic. Hey everybody, it's Thomas with Get Out Arizona, and you are watching another exciting episode of Toolbox Topic. I'm joined once again by my co-host, Wyatt Spalding. Wyatt!
What's up?
How the hell are you, man?
Doing good.
All right, now, last episode, you noticed I was drinking Circle K coffee, and I said it tasted like shit. It still tastes like shit. Nothing's changed. But at least today, they actually had French vanilla creamer, so it doesn't taste as bad, but it's still shit coffee. But I love it. It's my favorite. And no, we're not sponsored. I'm not getting paid for anything, YouTube, to have this, cup in the thing. So kiss my butt as far as that goes. Anyways, Wyatt, how the hell you been? We haven't had you here in a couple weeks.
I've been busy, but just been doing the same old bullshit.
Now, you were in Colorado a couple times. How was the riding up there?
Oh, riding there is much better than Arizona this time of year, at least. It's just a lot cooler.
Yeah, the truth.
Rain,
Right?
But yeah, it was nice. It was cool.
Very cool. And just to let you guys know, Wyatt does astrophotography as well. He's learning how to do that. He showed me some of his stuff. It's pretty dope, dude.
Yeah.
So, and part of our first bike packing trip that we're planning, we're going to do some astrophotography.
Yep.
We're going to do an overnight.
That's going to be
see,
legit.
see what we can sort out there. So, all right, and we're actually going to move this back just a hair.
Yeah, let's get this back here a little bit. Sweet.
Yeah,
so
you
got
can't
some
blame me.
Flat tires, don't you?
Yeah, so what we're talking about today now, if you remember from, previous episodes, and I'll go ahead and throw a link up there in the corner and one at the end of the video, when we talked about tubeless tires, tube tires, tire maintenance in general. And Arizona can be brutal. Now, people with tubeless tires think you just put sealant in it and you call it good. But you have to remember that sealant does evaporate. It does get chunky and gooey. Kind of looks like schmegma. If you know what that means, you know what that means. That's pretty much what it looks like.
Yeah.
But you can also experience some other problems too. The seated bead, something can happen there. The rim strip inside to keep it sealed can also deteriorate and everything. And the last couple times I've gone out, Jenny's been leaking like a mofo. And no, she doesn't need a shot of penicillin. She just needs a little TLC on the tire. So Wyatt and I are going to kind of troubleshoot on what's going on. And these will be tips for you if you're experiencing this, if you run a tubeless setup, what you can look for if you start having these same issues. So let's first, Wyatt, talk about what some of the things could be. And we're actually going to use the front tire. She's going to stay for maintenance today, guys. She's a little overdue, and it could be one of the reasons why she's been giving me attitude and not let me take her photo out on the rides. She could be jealous, too, of Ellie Mae.
Quite potentially.
Yeah, a lot of ladies are jealous of Ellie
Bikes
Mae,
have
though.
feelings, dude.
Yeah, they do. So, so we're just gonna diagnose, the front, but it'll, transfer to the back since it's a matching set. So, Wyatt, tell us some of the things that we should be looking for. Some of the garden variety. Someone comes into this episode. What are the first things you look for before you start digging deeper into the more obscure?
Definitely, yeah. So with tubeless, you have, like you said, you have a couple things that can kind of go wrong, cause you to have a flat tire. You could cut your tire or puncture your tire to a big enough degree where the sealant's not going to help you anymore. Your rim tape or your rim strip could be damaged, which isn't sealing the rim at this point anymore. And your sealant could just be dry 100%, and then there's no more. You might have small little thorn punctures at that point, but nothing's going to seal them up anymore, even though they're small punctures. So first step, if someone brought in a really flat tubeless tire,
which these are,
you could always just try and air them up,
which
originally,
I have.
and just see that would be a good idea to see if there's any sidewall cuts.
Right.
This one we pretty much know there's no sidewall
No
cuts.
sidewall cuts, yeah.
Yeah, but that would be a good way to kind of diagnose that, and then you could spin the tire around and see. That'd be also a good time to look for punctures on the contact patch of the tire or anything.
Yeah. Now, some of the stuff that Wyatt's talking about, I have gone ahead and done. The last ride that Jenny and I did was right at 64 miles, and unfortunately, I had to put air in the tires twice. There's a fly that Wyatt tried to kill with the assault gun. Was unsuccessful.
It's resilient.
It's a crafty little bastard.
Yeah.
The first time he had it though, and he had the safety on, so
Why did they make safeties?
Well, for people who don't know, it's a different subject for a whole different thing. So some of the basic things that that they would look for here, I've already done. So now we're going to dive deeper, look at how the bead's holding on there, looking to check the rim strip, and it could be just, you know, it's not seated. It's not seating anymore for whatever reason, and it's causing a leak. If you guys remember from prior episode, where Brandon hit it with the air real quick, and you heard that bing, ching. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
it really appears to be okay.
Yeah.
Like we'll take the bead off and see what's going on. Sometimes when you try and take the bead off, it can be a little stiff. This one came off just easily with the thumbs. But if you ever do have that, you can. Don't know if you can see on the ground down there, but you can always use the little tip of your foot on the tire, holding it down on the ground, and that'll help you kind of wrench the rest of the bead off.
It's hissing at him.
Sometimes it hisses, sometimes it squirts. You just gotta, wear eye protection.
Remember, it's a kid show, guys.
Yeah.
It's a kid show.
But,
I know we joke about that all the time because, we're guys and we, make up all kinds of different stuff.
Cool. So we've cracked the bead all the way around the tire, both sides. Now we're going to take our handy tire lever and just see what the hell's going on here. These tubeless tires can be a little tight.
Now, Wyatt and Brandon kind of do this different ways, and there's not necessarily a right or a wrong way to do this. It's just a different technique. Ew.
So it's somewhat dry in there.
Yeah.
You still have some, so I would expect punctures to still seal and everything. If you did run into that situation. How quick were you losing pressure?
Over the course of 25 miles, I had to air back up again, and then it was towards the tail end. Instead of just trying to power through and risk having it roll off while I was riding, I stopped and gave it a little bit more. So
gotcha.
So the course over 64 miles, I had to do it twice. So
okay, so that's definitely odd. Yeah, losing air that much, but rim strip looks to be fine.
Well, I'm a fat ass too, Wyatt.
Yeah.
So remember, what a little puncture, the amount of air it's going to lose with you on there weighing 110 pounds and me, being Mr. Chunks over here. It's going to be two different things.
Yeah.
No, I joke. He weighs more than 110.
I'm 140.
140. Yeah. There you have it.
Well, I'd say, honestly, your rim strip looks completely fine. Your valve, that's another good thing to check, is your valve. Sometimes you'll get flats just because your core is clogged with sealant.
Right.
And it'll almost stick open like that. And sometimes you don't even notice, like there's a little bit of air coming out, but if you put your ear right up to it at pressure, it'll be coming out. So that's a good thing to check. That looks okay, though. Also check like the rim for any dings or anything. This is carbon, so only thing that could happen to it would be cracked. Which it's not, so that's good. But if you did have like an alloy rim and you're shredding mountain bikes or something, there is a good opportunity that you might have hit a rock or something, and then you could actually see a small puncture on the bead of your tire, and then you would see a dent on your rim as well, and that's a super common cause of flats around here because it's so rocky.
Yep.
People like to run low pressures though because you get grip on that rocky terrain, so it's just it's kind of designed here to destroy your tires and your rims.
Arizona is a hostile environment as far as riding, guys, and no doubt about it.
But at this point, I would say just throw the tire back on, get some fresh sealant in there, make sure it gets spun around, and then we'll check that. I think that should solve all your issues, though. Okay. Because we've kind of, we've gone through the checklist at that point. You have no sidewall cuts. Doesn't seem that you have any big punctures that won't seal on the surface. So that's probably why you're losing pressure.
Yeah, because even before I took it out on this last ride, I aired it up above pressure and then spun the tire and sprayed it with a little bit of soapy water.
Yeah, and it seemed to be okay.
Yeah, no bubbles, no nothing. So, which for some of you people, if you're trying to find a leak and you can't see sealant coming out or anything like that, a little bit of dish soap in a spray bottle
works great.
Air it up, spray it on there. That's how we used to check for air leaks on medical gas lines and stuff like that. And plumbing, and guys do it at the tire shop. Mounting your tires and stuff to make sure everything's good and the bead's locked and everything. So,
and you can just see in here too. That sealant's really old. Like that was Stan's, and now it's dark brown.
Yeah.
So.
No wonder Jenny's had a shitty attitude towards me. Yeah.
It's probably time for some. So.
Okay. Yeah, we'll put that back on there and put her in the corner. Nobody puts Jenny in the corner.
No, not Jenny. But we'll just take some fresh stands here.
Yeah.
And this, you know, the old stuff's all brown and gooey like that and probably doesn't have very much of the particulates left in it.
Right.
And that's probably why it's not doing a good job of sealing. So you could put this in through the valve core, or you can just put it in.
Now, see, if I tried
the
doing
tire.
it that way, it would be all over the place. This is why I have epoxy on my garage floor, so I can clean up the messes easy.
Yeah. I still make a mess the majority of the time, but I'm so used to cleaning messes these days that it's not too big of a deal.
Now, when I took home Ellie Mae for the first time,
Yeah.
you guys were pretty adamant about me spinning those tires
Yeah.
with the sealant. Why is that? I didn't ask, and I was kind of curious.
I kind of have a different opinion on that than other people.
Well, let's hear it.
I think if you tape the rim well enough, you shouldn't have to do that.
Okay. Nice, I like it. Well, I basically said that's only for amateurs. You don't know what the fuck they're doing.
If you tape the rim properly and you have a brand new tire, it should hold fine.
Okay.
It should almost hold without sealant.
Okay.
Really, ideally. If you have to spin, if your tire's losing pressure with a taped setup, and it's a brand new tire and it's brand new sealant,
Right.
you're actually accepting the fact that your tape is not perfect, and then you're running into the situation where there's air pushing out of your tape, which pushes sealant past your tape, which then sealant gets in your spoke nipples.
Gotcha. It can cause all
And
kinds
can
of
cause
problems.
corrosion, and then you can start popping spokes all the time.
Gotcha.
And all that stuff.
Wow,
So
that's very vocal.
Yeah, that's very vocal for sure. So I mean, I would say if you have to spin them more, you know, re-air them up more than once, definitely need to be retaped, and just it wasn't done properly.
Gotcha. And ironically enough, Ellie Mae's did have to be retaped.
Yeah, exactly. And once it was retaped, though.
Yeah, haven't had an issue.
And I did retape it. So.
That's right. Why was the one who retaped it.
So.
And it hasn't had an issue since.
Not to call anyone out. I just think that if you get the tape done perfect, and it's a brand new tire, you know everything's supposed to be holding and sealing, then you shouldn't have to spin anything. You shouldn't have to. I mean, it's a different story if it sits in the garage for a month and it doesn't spin. But if it's brand new and it's just set up and it was spun once and there's sealant everywhere on the inside, then it should hold.
Shouldn't have to.
It should
Okay.
hold just fine.
So, and just to let you know, I mean, I always refer to Wyatt as like the Rain Man of the bike mechanics because he seems to know everything right off the top of his head, and yet to get my bike back and not have it dialed in just the way. But if you guys remember that Kestrel that we worked on, the derailleur and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to use my boy's name just out of respect. You know, it was his bike and we didn't use his name during the episode. But he can't stop talking about Wyatt and how good he is, and the bike ride's better than it ever has. Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I think he's got a man crush on you.
Well, this is the funny thing is like, yeah, I'm good at adjusting bikes and stuff, but when I was working on his bike, it was adjusted so poorly, and I think he got it that way. So you know, he's been that's his whole perception of the bike is what it was in that shape.
Yeah,
you know?
and different shops are going to have different levels of mechanics and everything. And I'm not going to say the name of the shop that he used to take it to. That's not my place. He doesn't go there anymore. But that was, he would take it in for maintenance and get it back, and it was just always something. And he was really convinced that it was his bike and it was time to drop.
That's horrible. Yeah.
$500 on a new setup for shifters with those Dura-Ace, $580 plus tax, plus install and everything like that.
Yeah, and it just wasn't adjusted.
Yeah, it just wasn't adjusted right. So, yeah, there's nothing saying that the bike shop that's in your neighborhood is the one you have to go to. And I've said this about a variety of different businesses. You should go, do your due diligence, talk to them, see what the experience is, and then go from there.
Yeah.
And this is one of the reasons why, you know, and of course, yes, I pine over, you know, the bike shop here, but, you know, I wouldn't have kept coming back had I not from day one received exemplary service. And, you know, again, it was never upsold. Every time I brought my bike in for adjustments, it was always done correctly and everything like that, and that's good. One thing you definitely don't want is to have riding your bike be a labor or a chore.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not why we do this. We do it to have fun. It's good release. It's a way to stay healthy and fit and everything like that. And so if it's not running properly and, you know, the shop you're going to isn't taking care of you, it becomes laborious and a pain. And then you don't want to ride your bike. And that's bad. because we always want you riding your bike.
Definitely,
So
definitely.
on that note, all right, well, we're actually going to finish up this episode. So Wyatt's done the front. Later on, he's going to do the back, but he actually is going to give Jenny some TLC today too. Go through, make sure all the cables are adjusted and everything like that.
So that'll be fun, yeah.
Yeah. Now, over the next 6 months, Jenny is going to go through a transformation just like Ellie Mae is, and I'm going to turn Jenny into more of a gravel touring bike.
Yeah.
We're going to put some smaller tires on, the 40 centimeter tires or 40 millimeter tires.
40 mil, yeah.
40 mil tires on here. We're going to change out the fork to a carbon fork from Envy. And at some point, she will also get the SRAM access shifters with a gravel bike line. So that'll be exciting and everything. So she's going to go through quite the transformation, which you guys will be able to see on Toolbox
Super cool,
Topic.
yeah.
And then, yeah.
Are you going to do a rack on this one?
Yeah, so I still have the pannier rack
Yeah,
that
nice.
came with it stock and
Oh, yeah.
everything. Probably won't do a front rack because I don't like the way that weight sits.
Yeah, feels weird.
But I will definitely order a custom bag from Rogue Panda, and I'll probably get a couple more bags from Reveille and everything, and it'll kind of mirror the setup that I'm doing with Ellie Mae, just for a different purpose.
Different purpose, yeah.
Yeah, so absolutely. So that'll be a lot of fun. Wyatt and I, like I said, we're planning our first bike packing trip together. Definitely that'll be a 2-part on-trail video for sure.
Oh,
yeah,
it's going to be a
it's gonna
longer,
great.
very
Maybe
interesting
3
one.
parts, yeah.
Yeah.
So
we've both got Rogue Panda bags coming too. So he's got one for Ellie Mae coming, right?
Yep.
And I've got one for my Cutthroat coming. So maybe we'll do a frame bag
review and everything.
Review video, because I think you got a double decker, right?
I got a double decker with a map
I got
pocket.
a double decker as well, so we can kind of compare how they did the different sizes. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Mine's supposed to come sometime this month.
I should be getting mine the second week in September.
Nice.
So, is what they're saying. So, it'll be perfect timing. So,
Wonderful.
yeah, so a lot of exciting things coming up on Toolbox Topic, the adventures of Thomas and Wyatt as far as that goes.
Yeah.
We'd include Brandon, but he's a roadie.
He's a roadie and he's chucking some vomit this morning.
Dude, I think he's shitting himself. I'm sorry, Brandon, we love you, buddy. We love you. Stay away from that sushi, dude, especially from the gas station, man. It's horrible.
day-old
So,
pizza, man.
ugh, dude, day-old pizza's delicious. Maybe it's just because I have a cast iron stomach as far as that stuff goes. All right, guys, enough shenanigans, seriously. So there you have it. If you have any questions about what you've seen today, or maybe any suggestions, any comments at all, leave them down, obviously, in the comment section. As always, there's going to be a link for Chuck Bicycle Store West Phoenix. Follow that link if you want to call the bike shop if you have any questions about what you've seen today or in any of our past episodes, and they will be more than happy to help you. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and as always, the bell notification icon, the ding-a-ling-a-ling button, so that way whenever we post a new video, you'll be one of the first to know. And on that note, guys, I don't know what else to say. Oh, live on camera, got it! Oh, man.
Yeah, there we go.
Dude, that was regular Halo, dude.
Yeah, bounced him off there, dude. I think there's guts on your seat.
That's all right, dude. It adds character. It adds character. So.
Thank you, guys.
All right, now it seems kind of odd that, in the closing, be kind to yourself and others. Be amazing stewards out on that trail. And guys, we have to ask, what are you waiting for? Get out, Arizona. We will see you on the next adventure. Wyatt, as always, thank you, my friend.
See ya.
Have a good week. We'll see you guys next week.
Later. Oh, this bastard's still alive, dude.